Hello, welcome back. My name's Paul, and today we're going to be working on the Hayabusa again. I hope everyone is well and safe, and things are coming along. Things are getting better. After putting the vacuum system on, things went well. Then we put the wiring loom on. I had to make some modifications to the loom to make the 2003 loom fit a 1999 ECU. But the forums were great, a lot of help out there, so it worked quite well. I have fired the bike up, and it seemed to run okay. It seemed to run okay, but my main concern now was the injectors. I know the entire fuel system is nice and clean and everything's good, but now my main concern was the injectors. So today we're going to be overhauling and servicing the injectors, and we're going to be testing them as well. So I'll show you the sequence to do that. Okay, so we're going to be servicing these injectors. Now, I bought this kit from eBay. I'll put the link in the description. It seems okay. You get two different sizes, and I'll show you what these are going to do in a little bit. So we'll need these two items. We'll need a can of carburetor cleaner or fuel injection cleaner. And what I've also made is a little test circuit to be able to fire the injectors to open them up, and I'll show you this in a little bit more detail. So what we've got here is first of all the injector lead. Okay, I've had a spare one, so that's nice and easy. I've got a little switch which will just turn on and off, and I've got my little plug which I'm going to be plugging a 9-volt battery into. Okay, people have said don't use 12 volts. I tried to look through the manual and try and see what was safe, so I've went for the smaller one rather than pushing 12 volts through that system to make sure it's all okay. So here we have the injectors outside of the bike. So we've got a number of seals that we're going to be replacing, and we've got the little coarse filter that we're going to be changing as well. Okay, so now we're going to pull the central filter out of the core of the injector. So it's this bit here that we want to remove. Now there's like a little plastic top hat, and then underneath that is a little copper plate that we're trying to get out. So normally when I've done this before, it pulls out the top hat, and then you have to go back in to remove the other one. So there's the little top piece. So it's just broken that off, but that's fine. Now we're going to actually get in there. Now you can see just about there, that's the little copper piece that we want to actually grip onto. So now if we screw it back in again, there we go. So now if I show you that, pull that off of there. There you can see the actual old one that we've taken off. We're going to do that for all the injectors and prep them to put the new ones in. Okay, so now we've got that central piece out, now we can start changing all the seals. So we'll pull the main one off. We'll see a nice new one going on, making sure we keep everything nice and clean. Take the little first seal off, and the one that goes to the actual rail. And then we can put the new rail seal on. Like so. And then the actual coarse filter. Now with a clean little toffee hammer, we're just going to tap that in just so it sits in there and goes flush. Don't have to go mad, it's only a little copper one. Okay, so now all our seals have been changed. Let's go outside and actually fire them off and test them. Okay, so now we're outside. We've got a nice clear area around us, so we're hopefully not going to cover anything in fluid. Now what we're going to do is first of all connect the battery to our test bed. So this is just something nice and simple, nothing too strenuous here. It's just a little 9-volt battery onto an old injector cap, and then just a little switch to turn them off and on. So as I plug the injector in now, you can hear, I don't know whether you can, there we go. So now what we're going to do is with this little test tool, I'm going to put that into the seal. Okay, so let's fire one off. So if we line up the hole, press it down on the can, keeping it nice and straight, we can then fire off the injector, just making sure the spray pattern is nice and clean. We'll move on to the next one. Now someone told me that we don't want to keep that plug held down on to keep that wide open, because the injector isn't really designed for that. It's, you know, designed to do short bursts, and it's not really built to be held down open for a long period of time, so I wouldn't go doing that. With regards to how much voltage you should put through it, check the manual. Okay, so now we've done that, we can get the injectors back into their back into the rail. So now we're putting the rail back into the throttle bodies. I have put a little bit of oil around the seals just to make them go in a little bit easier. Once they've all pushed in and seated correctly, we're then just putting the little Phillips screws heads back in, just to hold them all down. Okay, let's see if she'll go. Well, there we go. She hasn't run for quite a while properly, and that sounds the best it's ever sounded. It's not missing, it's not popping and banging. The last time before I'd done that injector clean, it sounded like there was pops and bangs, not quite like detonation, but like a misfire coming out more in the central of the engine. That's now gone, which I'm over the moon about. So I wonder if all the time maybe this was just an injector problem rather than anything else. The fuel pressure I'm still trying to work out. Now I can get the bike up to temperature correctly, we'll be able to look at that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the pressure will just, I mean, I know the manual is talking about 42 psi. This seems to run a little bit higher. I think I leaned it off a little bit, but it didn't like it. So I think I'm around sort of the 50 psi mark, but I'm over the moon about that. It sounds so much better than it did. So very happy. Thanks very much for watching. If this video has been of some help, please subscribe and hit the like, and watch some of my other videos. And thanks very much. Cheers.